You're funny.
Hello, this is our adaptation of Proloquo. We did this based off a case study student that we have talked a lot about. This student is very good with technology. He loves to play around on his device and add new buttons. So we created a device that he would be able to flip through and navigate. This will also help parents and teachers help him communicate in many different contexts. We're going to go a little bit into what are some important buttons that any device should have. For example, the first one is our About Me tab. It's so important that a student has something that they can talk about themselves and communicate with other peers. For
This
example,
About Me tab also has options.
sorry.
It's okay. This About Me tab also has options to help the students speak about certain things they like, such as their favorites and their friends and their pets, so they can help better assimilate into an inclusion setting.
Here, I'll
And
place
then
it.
also
My
with
name
this
is Sam.
tab, what's really good about this tab is that we didn't make it two buttons. Instead of saying my name is one button and then have Sam another button, we made it into one button. So it was just one step less for the student to have to go through.
I'll place some example buttons.
My favorite movie is up.
Yes, as Nikki said, all his favorite things are here and it's easy to tap
My
this one
favorite
button.
TV show is Coco Melon.
These are things that the student appreciates. It's important when you're adapting your device for the student, you figure out what the student is interested in. You can talk to a parent and make sure everyone's on the same page on where to find everything so it's not as confusing. Next, we have a chat button. This is so important so that student can talk to peers their own age and not just teachers and other adults. He has a lot of things that he can chat about and he loves to talk. He loves to say hello and goodbye. Those are important buttons and just some questions. And we have a second tab, just some good morning, good night, and he would be able to find all these different buttons here.
We also felt like this tab was essential for, again, incorporating based on our research in an inclusion setting, because it's a lot easier for other students to see and create conversations with the student.
Right. It's not just about him saying something, he's also able to ask questions and receive feedback from other peers, which is so cool. So I'll place some buttons here.
What do you think?
So he can easily find these buttons and use them however he sees fit.
Good morning.
And they're easily understood. All the little phrases and words are easily understood by other people, especially by his peers that he would be talking to.
Okay, next we have feelings. It's so important for a student to be able to express themselves and say what they need or how they're feeling. This is something that the student does in morning meeting every morning. So having this button on that front page is so easy for even a parent or a teacher. If you see the student is starting to become frustrated, you can kind of see and ask like how they're feeling so you are able to know. So there's a lot of examples.
Excited.
He could feel he's always really silly and excited. He's never really frustrated, but if he need be, there's a bunch of examples of what he can use.
We added a lot of deeper feelings as well on the device because we want the student to be able to show how they're feeling and their emotions rather than having 4 feelings to choose from. So it's much more customized and personalized for the student.
Right.
Okay, next we have his schedule. It is so important that he is a big visual person. He has a picture schedule in the classroom. When that's changed, he gets really upset. Like he loves his speech class. He would like to see that every day. So just being able to tell him like, no, you do not have speech today, instead of repeating that a bunch of times, he can use this device to show him like, here's your schedule for today. Here's the order. We have morning meeting, then one-on-one instruction. Like you do not have speech today. Like it's going to be tomorrow. So he's also able to ask how much longer things are. And he really is just able to use this to in either in the classroom or at home. We kind of wanted to make it so that he could use this in his other therapy sessions or at home, like mom or dad, they can have him put on your clothes, like it's time to go somewhere, like make sure he has this schedule that he's able to follow and take with him instead of just a picture schedule on the wall. He is able to use his device.
Right.
Even,
And also, go ahead, G.
I was going to say, even adding the button, like how much longer, helps communicate so much with other peers, because like when peers are in like in a general education setting, it's like, oh, how much longer in this subject? So by adding that to the student's AAC device, it definitely helps to assimilate them into an inclusion setting with general education students.
I was gonna say something so similar to you. I was gonna say more like having also that we added words like next, when, now, later, things like that. When he's talking about the schedule, makes it more accessible to him, so he doesn't need to go to a separate page to ask when something is or to ask how much longer. When he's asking those questions about his schedule, he has those buttons right on the schedule page.
Even that helps with like comparing and contrasting schedules. Like, oh, we have this science at this time, or social
Right.
studies at this time. Oh, you have it at this time. And it helps to look at different time management and different people's schedules.
So some other examples right on the page, we have a go button, we have his people, like that has family members there. It has teacher names. We have some places that he would go. We also have some activities that he enjoys. So his big one, Danny Go videos. He loves Danny
There you
Go.
go.
He loves iPad and taking a break with the iPad and watching YouTube videos. He'll be watching Coco Melon all day unless we stopped him. So these are just buttons that he appreciates and that relate to him. It'll motivate him to want to use it and tell us what he wants. Instead of getting upset physically, he's able to say, like, I want to play Legos. I want to read my book. He doesn't have to get frustrated so easily.
This will also help the students' teachers or aides or peers better get to know the student as well, because they can simply click on the activities tab and see the main activities that correspond best with the student.
This also isn't like something that's strict or regiment. Like you can add so many different buttons. There's a lot of buttons in the storage that are not used because they don't relate to the student. But down the road, you see he's growing. You want to add something that relates to him or relates to his curriculum. You can add that so easily. So he's able to use it in all aspects of his day. When he gains more friendships, more teachers, you can add their names so he's able to refer to them so easily. So yeah, this is our main board, and we believe that it's so accessible for him, and it has a lot of great examples of buttons that any student would benefit from. Thanks for watching.